Gonna get it. Hey guys, Courtney Epps here, and I am super excited. It's so funny because it seems like it takes forever to hit that go live button and it actually be live. So this is another episode of What's Your Plan B and why you would be brain dead not to own a home-based business. And I have a friend, also an amazing, powerful leader in the network marketing industry, and also one of our clients. So I'm super excited to have Jennifer on today. Thank you. Welcome, Jennifer.
I'm excited to be here. I really am. It's an honor, and you're amazing. So I'm excited.
Thank you. So I just want you to share with the audience just kind of your background, like what led you into network marketing, and just give us some feedback on what you love about the network marketing industry as well.
Well, to make a very long story short, I spent, I did the typical, go to school. I graduated from Texas Tech University in 1989. Get a good job, which I worked for Dun & Bradstreet for about 4.5 years. And then I eventually transitioned into medical equipment and then pharmaceutical sales. Usually it's the other way around. But I probably spent the longest time in pharmaceutical sales. I was a cardiovascular specialty rep for 15 years, right here in the Texas Medical Center in Houston, with AstraZeneca, Novartis, all these different companies. And, but I was super stressed out, by the time network marketing kind of came into my life. I had 3 small children. In fact, when I joined my first company, my youngest was not even 1 yet. And, considering I was stressed out, you would think the last thing I would want to do is put another thing on my plate. But what really got me into it was because I had I hate to say it, but I had a very low opinion of network marketing. And what got me into it was a girl that I really, knew, loved, trusted. I had just joined a cardiovascular biotech company. Actually I was recruited over there by a former manager of mine. More money than I'd ever made in my life. I was driving a Lexus as a company car. I mean, I thought I'd arrived, but the main reason I took that job and left AstraZeneca for CV Therapeutics was simply because they offered stock options and said I could be retired in 4 years. And I was that mom that was getting up at dark 30, paying other people to raise her kids. I had a 45-minute commute to and from the Texas Medical Center every day. And I was super stressed out. I didn't have a lot of family time, didn't have a lot of quality time, was having to do things with my kids and kind of, get dinner on the table and scream at them and throw them into bed by a certain time. And then I was still staying up late to do expense reports and paperwork and all this other stuff. Just no quality of life. So I thought, man, if I can be out of this and home and retired as a millionaire in 4 years, I'm in. So I, went with this biotech company. Well, ironically, it was, in that company that I met the girl that recruited me into network marketing. And how she did it was because I had such a low opinion of network marketing. She just basically reached out to me and said, listen, why don't you just join this company, which was a different company than I'm with now. But she said, why don't you just do this for your church? Because my church was meeting in a school. They had bought 16 acres to build a church. And because they were small and, just not a huge church, I just thought it's going to take them forever to raise this money. And I had put my husband and I down, which, my husband, Sean, we literally call him Squeaky because he's so tight he squeaks. And I'd put him down for a $350 a month pledge, roughly $350 to our church's building campaign every month. And he was not necessarily happy about that. And my friend that I knew from the biotech company kind of overheard a conversation that we were talking about all that. So she said, why don't you just do this for your church? That way it's not even in your family's budget. Sean doesn't have to, deal with it. And you just, switch a few electric bills because it was an energy company. And she said, you can just use all the money to go towards your church's building campaign. And that's how I entered network marketing. It was literally just part-time on the side to help my church. And then it just sort of took off. And then about 18 months, I quit my job. And was home with my kids and, which honestly, looking back, I think I quit a little bit too early, which a lot of people do in network marketing. So it's got to be the right timing and you've got to really understand the compensation plan too, to realize how that's going to go. But still, it was the best decision I ever made in hindsight. And it's completely changed my life over the course of the last 14 years. So it's been an amazing ride.
I love it. So 14 years ago was the last time you worked a job?
Yes. Well, I'm trying to think. 2006 is when I literally walked away from my pharmaceutical company. And, it's kind of crazy because people kept saying, oh, she replaced her income. And, and I was like, no, I didn't replace my income. Not at all. But I was making enough to stay home because, sometimes it costs you almost as much to work, as it does to stay home. Sometimes it depends. Like, we, with 3 kids, we had a lot of childcare. After school care was costing me money, dry cleaning for all my suits for pharmaceuticals, and so we were almost like breaking even. I mean, in a big sense. And then at the same time, I wasn't getting that quality of life. I had no time freedom. And, and I always say people are starved in one of 4 areas of their life. Always. They either don't have enough time, they don't have enough money, they don't have enough relationship because they're working all the time. So, they can't volunteer at church, or they can't, be the room mom or whatever, which I was typically that person. So they just throw money at stuff, instead, because they can't give their time. And then lastly, they're starved in areas of health. Now I'm in a health and wellness company. So I find that people either struggle with things themselves, or they have an elderly parent, or, a child that has issues. And especially in this day and age, everybody's focused on their health. So, with that being said, my friend, she didn't really go after me on time, even though I desperately needed time. But I was not a big believer in network marketing buying you time. I mean, at that point, I personally had never met anybody who was a multimillionaire off network marketing, which now I feel like every time I turn around, I'm bumping into somebody who's
Right.
killing it in network marketing. But back then I didn't, just because I was in the corporate world. And so she didn't go after me on money, because I made a lot of money doing what I did as a pharmaceutical rep, but she just really went after me on relationship. I mean, she knew that I loved my church, and she knew that I was trying to help them monetarily, because I couldn't, do a lot of volunteering and things like that. And that's where she got me. She got me on relationship and just said, just do it as a fundraiser for your church. And that's how I did it. So,
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And now, and from what I remember, your daughter is also in network marketing as well.
Yes, my oldest daughter is an affiliate with a company, and really enjoys that. Because she definitely has seen, growing up with, myself in network marketing, and then of course my husband's an entrepreneur. I think all 3 of my kids, they really have it in their head now that even though it's like, in fact, my son's going off to University of Arkansas here in just a couple of weeks to begin his 4 years of college. Hopefully it's only 4 years. But it's literally like not even a discussion point in our family. You will go to college, but we do teach our kids, college is going to teach you how to make somebody else rich. I mean, they'll teach you how to be a really good employee versus running your own business. And so our kids know that they need multiple streams of income, that they really need to try to work for themselves if they can. And in fact, when my daughter graduated from University of Alabama, she actually ended up getting her real estate license. And now she's with Keller Williams, primarily because they have that 7-level profit sharing plan for their agents, which a lot of people don't realize that technically Keller Williams is a direct sales company, and to a great extent. I use that a lot with people who are skeptical about direct sales or network marketing. Yes. But anyway, so she had just started there prior to the quarantine. And then when she got put on lockdown, I mean, that's when the affiliate part really kicked in for her, because she needed some extra money. Even though she's kind of back home with us right now and, has been living here and slowly getting back out into the world, but she wanted to use something to fund her ultimate dream of starting her own business, which she's had a business plan for, almost 3 years now, and an idea that she wants to launch. So it definitely rubs off on your kids. For sure.
Yes. And the ability to be able to work with your children takes them to a whole nother level of understanding. Like, I think there's this massive disconnect for people that have both parents or both working away from home. And please understand, like, if both of you are working full time, like, I'm not knocking that at all. What I'm saying is there is a huge disconnect to what your children get to see when you are truly working from home. Because me and my husband, same thing. I mean, we built our accounting practice over the last 10 years back up, because I had an insurance agency and accounting practice. I sold it 10 years ago. The guy I sold it to stopped paying me after 4 months, and I didn't have an attorney involved on a buy-sell agreement. That was a stupid $900,000 mistake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was supposed to receive. And I ended up $250,000 in debt, and I lost everything. And, so we, for the last 10 years, built our accounting practice back up through working from home. And that gave me a good understanding of the home-based business industry, because I had the same tax benefits of a real estate agent or a mortgage broker working from home, or a home-based business like direct sales, network marketing. And, unfortunately, we had to move into a facility in September. We grew so large that we grew out of our house and had to move to a facility. And the number one thing that I'm trying to get back to is to be back at home with my children every day, working with them, because they get to see everything that's happening. Now, here's the cool part. Like, my 18-year-old daughter, since COVID, has worked for us full time. She's a tax preparer, and she's a junior, and she'll start college at Clemson in January, and she starts as a junior. So she has 2 more years, and then she'll work for us. She actually owns 10% of our company now. So she owns part of the company. So tell me, kind of about that. Like, I heard you talk about the fact that, it wasn't about how much money you made. It was about how much money you kept, right? So, at the end of the day, you may have made more money in corporate America, but after taxes and daycare and everything else, like, did you miss much? Like, I know there's some changes, like you build a company up, and sometimes you hit a bonus and may drop some, but did you miss much at all as far as income goes? Because most people don't comprehend it's about how much money you keep, not make.
Right. Well, for me, I could literally talk hours on this subject because it's a passion of mine. Like you were saying earlier, I don't knock people who work full time for someone. That was me for years and years and years. And that's amazing. But the reality is there's not a lot of loyalty anymore, not only on the employee side, but on the employer side, right? And one of the things that I saw over the course of my career in network marketing, for example, was, obviously I really went full time in 2006. And of course, the recession started hitting in 2007, 2008. And what was super interesting is I watched, friends of mine that had been in the pharmaceutical industry for some of them 25, 30 years. Older reps get laid off and not get rehired because people were learning to do more with less. Number one. Number two, technology was starting to kick in. Doctors could be detailed over a technology type system, which I've even taught my kids. I'm like, when you go off to college, try to pick a major where if you do get out and get a job, you can't get replaced by technology, which so many people are losing their jobs because of oh goodness, we've seen it throughout the quarantine, right? Yes. People who don't have jobs where they can work from home, like you can't be a bartender from home. You can't be a waitress from home. It's hard to run a restaurant when nobody can come there, and I know they're small business owners, but the reality is a lot of them, even as small business owners, they don't have second, third, fourth, fifth income streams. And you've got to have backup plans, right? And I know you're huge on talking about that. Yes. But that plan B, nobody had really talked to me about that growing up. My parents had kind of died. My dad died when I was 16. My mom died when I was 22. And while my dad, he was an Army colonel and a physician, and I did see him because he was in retirement by the time I came along. He was 55 when I was born. And I watched him dabble, especially in real estate. He did a lot of like hard money lending. He also, throughout the 1970s when inflation was through the roof, he would do loans for people who couldn't pay the interest, at the bank or whatever, or couldn't get approved at the bank. So he did a lot of that stuff and he dabbled in real estate, a lot of rental property, and picked his own stocks. He was real big into the stock market. So I always kind of jokingly say I must have gotten that little entrepreneurial kind of interest from seeing that and seeing a time or an era in the 70s when a lot of people were struggling financially. And because my dad managed his money right and built other streams of income outside of his pension with the military and all of that, he was really able to lend and not borrow, right? Which, to me, that's biblical. You really need to be out of debt, and have everything right. And, if you really want to attract goodness into your life in terms of professional, physical, financial, relational, it's all connected. So you've got to, whether you believe in, God or the universe, at the end of the day, it's just universal karma. You've got to have everything in line. And, for me, what I used to say a lot, I haven't said it in years, and sometimes I go back and revisit it, and people are like, oh my gosh, you need to say that more. But I used to say, because it had blown me away, how quote unquote protected my husband and I were during the recession. We were literally both, he had finally launched his own business full blown, and we were both working from home. Our kids went to Christian private school. We had really nice cars. We were paying, all of our bills on time, and people were getting laid off left and right around us. And I was watching people literally go bankrupt over like, $250 a month would have made a difference if they had it on the side to buy groceries with, or to help go towards a note or something. But, I started telling people, I said, listen, you have insurance for everything in your life. You have auto insurance you pay a premium on, in case you get in a car accident. You have life insurance. You have health insurance. You have homeowners insurance in case your house floods or burns down. I said, oh my goodness, people even have pet insurance in case their dog chokes on a bone, But the number one thing nobody has is income insurance. And I'm like, the number one thing that puts food on your table and pays all your bills, you have no backup plan, no insurance plan for. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be network marketing. It could be anything that gets you some sort of residual income or extra form of income outside of what you do. But that is how, if you can run a business from your home, especially now with everything that's going on, and get that other form of income, you need to do it. Because the reality is, and I really saw it in one particular afternoon. And I think even though I was already full-time in network marketing and already preaching, about residual income and leverage and all of that, I don't even think it really hit me until I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and one of our top earners in our former company, who's a good friend of mine from way back from college, he had called me up that afternoon, and he said, hey, I hear you're in Atlanta. And I said, yeah, I'm working with my team here, but some things have gotten canceled. So I'm just sitting at a Starbucks working on some stuff. And he said, well, I have an appointment downtown with literally like Ted Turner's right-hand man for like, Turner Broadcasting or whatever. And I'm going to see him for a guy in my downline if you want to come with me, just to, come check it out. He's in some beautiful penthouse office, in Buckhead. So we go down there, we meet with this man, and it was literally like something out of a movie, the big panel doors and secretary out front, and he'll see you now and all that. So we go in, and here's this man, and you could tell he was a little bit annoyed, but he was doing it for his friend. He would take a look at this business, right? This electricity business that we were in, and that it was natural gas in Georgia. That's what they were deregulated for. So this top earner, Greg, he sits down, across from this man. He's going through the whole presentation. The guy literally kind of kicks back, and he goes, huh. So, they tell me that you're like a top earner in this, company that you're with, like what kind of income do you make as a top earner, right? Now, the way things go in this day and age, especially, nobody discusses income, right? Because the FTC says you really can't discuss income because it can be considered a perceived guarantee. But back then, things were a little looser. And so Greg kind of told him ballpark what he had made. He told him, he's very honest. He's like, I own a landscaping business, and I was skeptical about network marketing too, and it took a while to build up. And, I was able to go full time. I'd already been an entrepreneur, So, but the guy, when he heard the number, he was like, why'd I want to do that? I make X amount of dollars more than you per month. And I kind of got tense, and I'm looking over at Greg like, what's he going to say? And Greg literally goes, I'll take my X number of dollars over your X number of dollars any day of the week. You want to know why? He goes, because at the end of the day, you're still an employee. Somebody still tells you what time to be at work, what time to go home, what time you can take lunch, how many weeks of vacation you can have. You probably never see your kids. You're probably on a plane, probably 40 hours a week practically, traveling everywhere. And he goes, and at the end of the day, they could lay you off tomorrow and your income stops. He goes, me, on the other hand, I can go to Hartsfield International right now, jump on a flight back to Dallas, go sit in my lazy boy, grab my remote control and do this. And my income still comes, whether I'm working it or not. And literally the guy goes, huh? And he goes, how much is it to join? And signed up on the spot. And it was because at the end of the day, the guy realized that he could not go park his butt in a hammock in Belize for 4 months and even have a job, much less a raise when he got back, and that he did not own his life was the bottom line, even though he made millions of dollars in his position, of where he was with Turner Broadcasting. So it's mind blowing because people don't realize it. And I'm like, you may love your job, keep your job. But at the end of the day, you need a plan B. Now, here's where I'm going to toot your horn a little bit, because when I got into network marketing, you just kind of think it's like this little side hustle and it's kind of like a little fun thing. You don't realize, A, the tax benefits of it. B, when you start to make a lot of money, wow, you better have yourself buttoned up and ready to roll. That's the one thing that you taught me, right, Courtney, and my husband as well. My husband, he's not even in network marketing, right, for the most part, other than, supporting and helping me. But even in his equipment business, construction equipment business, he's been set up as a sole proprietor for the last almost 20 years until Courtney comes along and basically kind of paddled us both and said, what are you doing? You need to get set up right. You need to be an S corp. Here's where you're missing money. Here's where you're throwing money away to the government or having to shelter your money other ways, which doesn't help you in the long run, because you really need to have those good balance sheets, if you want to do business loans, if you want to expand your business. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs caught in that trap of, trying to find ways to sort of give away their profits so that they don't have to pay the government, but that doesn't do them any good either, And so what I love about what you do is you really work on the strategy behind it all and how you need to set yourself up in business, which may cost you some money up front to do, but it pays dividends in the long run, right? And you were an absolute lifesaver for me. I know when Taylor Thompson had me on She Network, I don't even know how we got on the subject of you, but I was like, because of this industry that I'm in, I've connected with some amazing people who have put money in my pocket in other ways than just, by being part of a company. I've connected with you, and you've helped mentor and counsel and been available to my husband and I to really help us strategize and restructure our finances in such a way that we're now paying the right amount of tax. We're doing things the right way. We're set up the right way, and we're set up to really, truly create a legacy for our kids, and that's the number one thing for everybody. You want to leave a legacy of some sort. What do you want yours to be? How is it going to look financially for your kids when you're gone, or for your family, and that's where what you do is literally, in my opinion, almost like mission work. You're doing God's work, girl, for sure.
And sometimes it's tough because in the middle of the process, when you're dealing with money for people, it becomes very, very emotional. And
yeah, I've cried on the phone with you. I've gotten mad at you. I've cried on the phone with you. I'm very open about it. Like, I've told so many people our story, and I'm just like, the poor thing. She needs to go back to school and really get a psychology degree. And, which wasn't that, I don't know, that wasn't you, that was somebody else. But I was literally like, seriously, because of just, it is so emotional with money. And that's one of the number one reasons, top 3 anyway, that people divorce is over money. And because it is very private, and you can't share it with your girlfriends or share it with your, because you get into situations sometimes where you're carrying a lot of debt, or you're not paying your taxes, on time or at all because you're frozen and you don't know what to do. There's all kinds of things that entrepreneurs fall into that they don't discuss with other people. And it becomes where if you can't go outward with it, then you implode. And it's why people divorce. It's why business partnerships break up. People go bankrupt. It can ruin your life. And so really, you're a lifesaver. You're like a doctor. You come in and just, it's like that scalpel, man. It cuts, but it heals.
I wish we could do it as fast as surgery. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
It takes a little longer. And, and that's the thing, like, guys, what we're talking about here, like, you may have no clue, that, you've ever been in any sort of tax debt, but I will tell you that is one of the things that will shut down a human being faster than anything else, because they're scared and they don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And instead of focusing on being scared, you just need to fix it. And that's what I tell most of my clients. I'm like, look, like, they're like, oh my God, this is such a lot of work. Like, no, it's not. We're going to do it one thing at a time. We're going to do 1 year at a time. We're going to fix this. We're going to do this. And you're going to be fine, but we have to fix it. Yeah. And so, and that's what happens. So as an entrepreneur, one of the things I want people to understand, because I think especially W-2 employees, get really lost in this concept if they are new to network marketing and they start making money. And some of them start making money really, really fast. And then they get hit with the tax bill and they're like, oh my God, like I should be doing network marketing because I'm paying so much in taxes. No, the problem is you're not structured properly. The problem is your prior accountant did not write off the deductions that you're entitled to take. And that's what ends up causing you to overpay in taxes. Because here's the deal. 96% of business owners overpay in taxes every single year. That's according to Forbes magazine. They put that out last year. And the reason why they overpay is just lack of education. And what they think is happening is their accountant is preparing their tax return and they're providing some sort of strategy. And guys, I'll be the first to tell you that if you come to me right now and say, Courtney, can you please prepare my 2019 tax return? Yes, I can. Yes, I can do my best in every ability that I have to try to find deductions for you. But if you didn't spend money that I can on something in 2019, then we can't write it off in 2019. Yeah. If you were not structured properly, and this is a conversation I had to have with Jennifer, like if you're not structured properly, if you don't have an LLC, if you don't set the LLC up as an S corporation, at least get the LLC, right? At least get the LLC. If you do that, then yes, we could go backwards and potentially save, tens of thousands of dollars in self-employment taxes. But you can't have a conversation in 2020 expecting that you're going to save a ton of money for a 2019 tax year.
Yeah.
So strategy is crucial. But I think first and foremost, because we are trying to teach people why they need to have a home-based business, you have to understand that there are two tax systems in this country. And there is a system and a tax code that was created to steal wealth away, and that is the W-2 employee system. And yes, just like Jennifer said, like she was making good money. But the thing is after she paid taxes, which to the tune of typically 35 to 40%, after she paid for daycare, right? After she paid for daycare, and you may say, well, I'm getting dependent daycare credit. Well, you're only getting max, I think it's like $1,500. I mean, it's not like you're getting a whole lot on dependent daycare. And, I've got clients that are spending $20,000, $30,000 a year in daycare. And I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, you have to make $45,000 in order to bring home the 30, like actually more than that. Like, why would you do that? That's not even logical. So you can say you have a job. That's what I don't understand. So when you understand there's this one tax system created to steal wealth away, the second tax system is for the business owner tax system. And what that has been created to do is to provide wealth for you. And so we are constantly like, we're doing two different things, but we're still selling. Like I'm selling taxes, I'm selling tax strategy sessions, I'm selling my book, whatever. And Jennifer is selling a product or a service. And so we are all generating economy in the network marketing world, and business owners. We're generating economy. We are then hoping, the hope is that we'll one day hire employees to help us and grow our business even bigger. And then what happens is someone has to pay the taxes. So the taxes trickle down to the W-2 employee and they get hit with paying the taxes. And it makes sense to me. And let me tell you why. A W-2 employee is taking care of their household. That's all they can really take care of, if they can do that. Sadly enough, in this country, the average person is going in debt $7,000 a year to work, 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year to take 2 weeks paid vacation. That's why the national debt is constantly going up higher and higher and higher every single year. But the business owner, I have 25 families I'm providing for. I have thousands of clients that I'm providing for and helping. And then I have my own family. So it makes sense that we as business owners, if you're impacting more lives, then you are gaining, you are growing, right? And you're getting value from that through tax savings. And that's what Congress does. It's like the things we talk about, they're not loopholes, guys. Like that drives me crazy. Like that's a gray area. No, it's not. It's straight tax code. You are allowed to take advantage of tax deductions if you're attempting to earn an income today or in the future, and it seems reasonable. And what's reasonable, it's reasonable to you. If I feel like I need to go spend $50,000 on a billboard and a TV show to launch my brand, I can do that. That is reasonable to think that I can do that. But, I want you to understand that in network marketing, what's happening is all they're doing is teaching people and educating people on why this product is amazing. Mm-hmm. And so, share with me just what do you love? I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons why the network marketing industry is amazing, but like couple different, like, what do you love about it? Like what kind of drives you on a daily basis to continue staying in the network marketing industry, even if it's not about money, everything else?
Well, it's a lot of different things, right? I always say everybody starts network marketing for the money. Everybody does. It's money, right? It's an opportunity. But really, and sometimes it's the product. Maybe they love the product and that's why they got involved, but they wanted to get paid for sharing the product, right? Whatever it is. But at the end of the day, when I sit and I talk to other top earners, in the network marketing industry, we all agree that, and I don't know if this is a great analogy or not, but I'm like, that literally, I say it all the time. I'm like, the crack cocaine that people in network marketing is the lives you change.
Yes.
Right? You literally, I mean, I was changing lives, quote unquote, in pharmaceuticals, right? Not to get in an argument about that, because sometimes I jokingly say I work for the evil empire now because I'm in health and wellness and it's a little different approach. Hello, all the debates that are going on out there right now. But at the end of the day, we were literally, I mean, a lot of pharmaceutical reps really feel like they're doing a noble thing, helping, extend patients' lives and give people quality of life in the whole 9 yards. So I think at the core of who we all are is we want to make a difference in the world. We want to help people. I do believe that most people anyway, if not all, are just given that God-given, I have this need to help people, right? They say the quickest way, for example, out of depression is to go help someone else. If you can go out and volunteer at a food bank, your mood goes up. It's just something in us, right? So at the end of the day, it's the lives you change. Nothing beats sitting in a national convention with thousands upon thousands of people, and you're in the audience in the dark, and there's somebody on the stage, spotlight on them, and they tear up and start bawling. And Courtney, I'm sure people have done it to you because you've changed a lot of lives, but they're like, I'm almost about to cry thinking about you and the difference you've made in my life. But you stand on stage and you just go, oh my God, she's changed my life. Like, I was able to put my kids in a different school. I was able to quit one of my 3 jobs, or whatever the story is. I was able to lose, 100 pounds, and I'm off, I was on 75 medications. Now I'm on 10, whatever it is. But when you hear that and your name's included in that life-changing story, it's priceless. It's like a MasterCard commercial. It's priceless. And that's the stuff you start chasing. You start saying, whose life can I change? And to me, as a network marketer, because I know you have a lot of network marketers as your clients, and if they're watching today, I always say, to me, that's the transition from being an average earner in network marketing to being a top earner. Because when your goal goes from making money to changing lives, there's almost a certain karma that happens. It's literally like fish jumping in the boat. It's almost like people can tell you have a heart for people. Yep. I mean, literally, people just start walking up and going, you look interesting to me. What is your name? I've had people do that, and I swear, as a Christian, I'm just like, I believe it's just that calling or that purpose that God's given me to connect people. I say on my Facebook that my purpose in life is to connect great people with great people. Like, I love I was talking about you today to the people I know from eXp Realty. I was talking about you. They need to use you. But I love to connect great people to great people. But at the same time, I love to connect great people with their own greatness, because people don't realize how great they are. And no other industry outside of network marketing gives you the ability to do that, because network marketing is very personal development oriented. And the reason for that is I'm a Maxwell certified coach and speaker. And one of the first things that John Maxwell talks about in his global bestseller, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, is the law of the lid, which basically says that your level of income, success, whatever you want in life will never exceed your level of personal growth. Yes. You have to grow. And I mean, for example, as badass and as awesome as you are, Courtney, you have mentors, right? You get mentored by the best. You, like Tony Robbins, I mean, you've shared the stage with the man. He's a personal mentor to you. And I'm sure you spend a lot of money to get that time with him, but it's worth it because it takes you to the next level. I've watched you just since I met you a year and a half ago, how your business has exploded, because when you're growing, it's almost like the whole universe responds and says, oh, here's one that wants to make it, you know? And it just, things start happening and levels start unlocking. It's almost like a video game. You know, you have, you know, my 19-year-old son, when he's on a game, playing a game, he's trying to figure out how to unlock and get to the next level. What are the hacks? What are the tricks? Well, the hacks and the tricks in life in general is personal development, personal growth, having mentors, reading books like More Relaxing, Less Taxing, being part of your group, you know, going to Tony Robbins, going to Ray Higdon, going to Eric Worre for us in the network marketing industry, things like that. Those will unlock those next levels. So the personal growth, you know, and a lot of network marketers say this, but it's the truth. You know, you may pay, you know, a small amount of money to get in, but the rewards you get on the back end are priceless in the millions and millions and millions of dollars. But it's literally like a personal development program with a comp plan attached, is the way network marketing works. And it's incredible. So I would say changing people's lives, the personal growth, and the last thing I'll say, and I'm sure there's countless more, but the connections. You know, I mean, we've all heard the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? And literally, I've taught my kids that since they're little. And network marketing, I have learned, and this isn't even just network marketing, as an entrepreneur in general, especially when you get multiple sources of income, you get involved in groups like BNI or Meetup, or, you know, you're in the Rotary Club, or, you know, whatever it is for you. At the end of the day, your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth always. And so, you know, you've probably heard the phrase too, you know, I'll show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are or who you will be in the future. So if you want to level up, if you want to take your financial game to the next level, you want to get your taxes right, you want to get your business done, you want to run with people like Courtney. You know, if I want to learn about network marketing, if I want to learn about just being a better human, I want to connect with Ray Higdon or John and Nadia Melton or Eric Worre, right? Those guys are changing the world with their programs. Or Joe Nax, another one in our industry. Love him. So, you know, at the end of the day, there's just so many connections that you'll make in this industry. And I have literally found myself sitting, you know, on yachts, in somebody's penthouse. Like, I was in a penthouse down at the Atlantis Resort hanging out with Rick Springfield because of connections in network marketing, right? I sat on a billionaire's yacht for 5 days that cruised through the Virgin Islands because of network marketing. We were treated like billionaires. Like, technically my whole life has been downhill since I got off that boat, but it was almost depressing to come back to real life. But just some of the cool stuff. And it's not even about money. It's not about being in the penthouse or on the yacht. It's also just about connections. Like, you know, for example, I have such a big network now. Like, when my oldest daughter went off to the University of Alabama and was going through sorority rush, I just put up one post on Facebook and said, who out there was in a sorority that could write a recommendation for my daughter? Oh, girl, I was overwhelmed. Like, you know, to this day, I even screenshot that and send it to people. Like, I'm like, contact this friend of mine or that friend of mine for this sorority, you know, whatever, because they just came out of the woodwork. So your network is what's going to move that needle for you, you know, and to a large extent. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And, you know, and that's the thing, like, what I would tell you that network marketing has done for me, and because I'm not in network marketing anymore, I haven't been in network marketing for the last 2.5 years. But I'm a huge advocate for the industry. And on the outside looking in, what I've done with my accounting practice is I've made it into almost like network marketing works. Like, I still have employees, you know, there's no way I can really get around that with having an accounting practice and all the financial data and everything that we deal with. But I could leave with my laptop and my camera today, and I could get in my car. And the way that I built our business is that I can work from anywhere, because I have access to everything. And my clients are all over the country. So, you know, the great thing about me being a business owner, you know, I could, if I wanted to go to Hawaii today, I would pick up the phone and call one of my clients in Hawaii and say, I'm coming to see you. And while I'm there, while I'm spending time with them, I'm also, you know, having and enjoying myself. And that's the great thing about the network marketing world. You know, we just, Saturday, we're going to go pick up a $68,000 toy hauler. And I'm not telling you this. I'm not trying to impress upon you, like, guys, 6 years ago, I made $9,000 in network marketing. I mean, in accounting, $9,000 the entire year, 6 years ago, because I was broken. I was at a place in my life where I'd lost my business. I was scared to be successful again. I had massive limiting beliefs. I was self-sabotaging myself every time I felt like I was even getting close to being a professional again. And I walked into the network marketing world, and I got the personal development that I needed in order to succeed in life. And, I'm trying to tell you this, like, the money is not what drives me. What drives me is my purpose. But we'll hit about $2.3 million this year. Mm-hmm. And I tell you that, and why it's important is because we're also going to feed 2.3 million servings of food to children.
Yeah. And so good what you do with that.
Yeah. And so, we every single day, like, my purpose, and I think that would fix a lot of the problems in our country right now, is that we help people find a purpose that's greater than their problems. And a lot of times that's what I see in the network marketing space. It's like you have these amazing people who are willing to help you get to where they have gotten because, one, they financially benefit from you. That's brilliant. Like, it's a brilliant comp plan. If I could figure out a way to do it with my accounting practice and make them more productive and give them more, I would do that every single day. And maybe I'll figure that out. But, guys, having an accounting practice and what we do on a day-to-day basis is hard. Okay. Mm-hmm. That is hard. Talking to people and sharing with them a way that they could change their life, that's easy. And see, that's what I get to do when I'm doing a tax strategy session and having a conversation with someone and saying, hey, we're going to fix this. We're going to wipe out this much money. You don't have to worry about that. And the same thing, I can do that when I'm on a live here, and we can have a conversation, and I can help you feel better and help you understand, like, we can fix these problems. But that's what you get to do every day inside network marketing. It's like you're just looking for people that need help, and you can provide them with not only an amazing product or service, whatever product you're in or service industry you're in, but you also can provide them with a way that they can make an extra stream of income if they want to. But here's the thing, 80% of the people that are in network marketing aren't in it to make a ton of money. They may not even necessarily be in it to make money. They're just in it because they love the people. They love the personal growth and development. They love the products or services that they have. And the fact that they might benefit if they ever share it with someone is great. But here's the guarantee, guys, like, there is no downside to the network marketing industry. I will tell you that. Like, I've been involved in it. I mean, yes, there's good and bad people in every single industry. Yes, you may have gotten involved in a company and spent more money than what you were supposed to spend, or bought more product than you thought you should buy. But at the end of the day, it's a win-win opportunity because the guarantee is the tax deductions. And so if you just decide to have the intent, like, I want to make money and I attempt to earn an income inside the network marketing space, you are going to save between $4,000 and $7,000 a year. That's the average American family household that I see on a daily basis on how much money they're going to save. Yep. And if you can save $4,000 to $7,000 a year and it only costs you, $150 a month to be in your company, that's a win-win situation for me.
Yeah. Right? And well, it's kind of funny because, I was maybe, 3 years into my network marketing, journey. And I was running with all the top dogs in my old company, mainly because I knew Greg from college or whatever. And I was in the number one earners downline as well. And so I'm running with these guys, watching them make 250, 150, 60,000 a month. Right. And about 3 years in, I don't even know where I was at that time, but I was roughly making maybe, 1,500 to 2,000 a month. That was just straight residual without bonuses or whatever. And I just started kind of getting down. I was like, man, and I'd ranked up. I'd gone through the first 3 rank advancements, but I could not hit that top rank. I was in this coded comp plan. It's kind of a long story. And 2 of my top leaders in that 3rd code, where I needed 5, quit and went to another company. And I was just like down, I'm like, really? And, things were heating up at home too, because my husband's like, well, maybe you need to go back and get a pharmaceutical job. Right. So one day I'm kind of boo-hooing to, Greg about it. And I'm like, I'm just, I think I'm going to quit. I think I'm going to go back to pharmaceuticals. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, how much did you think you'd be making by now? And I go, I don't know. I mean, at least 10,000 a month. I mean, you're making X and, this guy's making X and I'm, all these numbers. And he said, okay. So you're going to go back to your pharmaceutical job. And I go, yeah. And he goes, how long is it going to take you to make $10,000 a month residual there? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, so you're going to go back to your pharmaceutical job. How long will it take you till you're earning $10,000 a month where you can work anywhere in the world that you want? Or you can stay home with your kids all day and still earn it. How long does that take in pharmaceutical? I'm just curious. I'm not a pharmaceutical rep. And he knew the answer. Never. I mean, literally, I got paid X number of dollars a year to do one thing and one thing only. And that was to get doctors to write prescriptions. They could fire me at any time. I could step off a curb onto Fannin Street and get hit by a train, which was happening a lot down there when they first put the train in. And my income just would stop. AZ would just hire another pharmaceutical rep or CB Therapeutics or whatever. And being a child who had lost both my parents by the time I was 22, I tell people all the time, there's a reason it's, term insurance, for example,
I think we lost her. Oh my goodness. This was getting good. I know she's going to come back. So until she does, Jennifer is frozen. And Jennifer, if you can hear me, go out and come back in maybe so we can finish this story because I wanted to hear about the train. But guys, this is what we're talking about. Like exactly what she just said, that residual income, you cannot make residual income working a job. And and you may say that's not fair or whatever, but as business owners, we are taking the risk, but you don't have to take that risk. You don't have to take that risk if you just get started in some sort of home-based business. You can do it on a part-time basis. You can do it in your spare time, and you can get started. You can learn the skills that you need to have in order to be successful. And then once you do that, and her lights all went off. Hold on a second. I'm going to let Jennifer know I got it. So one of the things, and that's super crazy. We're just talking about her being in the last company she was in, an electric company. But here's what I want you to understand. Network marketing is a better way, right? I'm not involved in the industry. I make no benefit whether you decide to sign up. I don't care what company you sign up in. Nobody's paying me to be here having a conversation with you. What I'm sharing with you is just stuff from the bottom of my heart of what I've seen over the last 6 years. And you're going to find some amazing people. You can find an amazing product, something that you can get behind, a company that you can get behind, a leader that you can follow, and just go out and just share that information with people. Because here's the thing, regret is tough. And, one of the things when I lost my accounting practice and insurance agency that I sold, I didn't lose it. I sold it, and I, made a wrong decision of selling it and sold it to a con artist, and he stopped paying me. And that's perfectly okay, because that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because that's why I'm here today with you. Because if I had been involved and engulfed in that business for so long, I worked 100 hours a week, I would not have been able to create what I've created today, which has been truly, truly amazing. And I wouldn't be able to share this information with you, but it is your duty to go out and share with people why they have to have some sort of home-based business. And the reason why is that they need a plan B. And if you don't have a plan B, you need a plan B. So I just want to impress upon you, the guarantees are tax savings along the way. So, things that were living expenses yesterday as a W-2 employee now become business expenses for you. And you get to take the advantage of writing those things off. See, things like meals and mileage and cell phone and internet and medical bills and medical insurance and business use of your home. All of those things are tax deductible for you, and allow you to be able to free up some of the money you're already currently making. And once you free that up, then you have the ability and the availability to go out and build a business on a part-time basis that could potentially set you financially free. So I'm gonna end here, and I just want to help you guys understand how great this industry is, how great the personal growth and development is, what it did for my life. And even on the outside looking in, it's still one of the greatest things that I ever had happen to me was getting involved in the network marketing world. And the second greatest thing, I guess, would be being out of it now so that I can help you understand how to free up money so you can get involved in an amazing industry, how to keep more of your money while you're in it so that you can stay in long enough to win and get the tools and the systems and the training that you need in order to be successful, and how to keep more of your hard-earned money along the way as you continue to move forward. So I hope you guys had an amazing day so far, and that you got some massive value out of what's your plan B and why you would be brain dead not to own a home-based business. And Jennifer is amazing. I'm so grateful that she was here with me today. And I hate that her power went out, but I hope that that ended the story. And, guys, just get back with the person who invited you here and tell them that you're ready to get started. Tell them you're ready to take a chance on your life. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.